It's at this point that you realise how unfit you are. Yes, we still have the bales together, please don't come at me. It's so mild, it feels so wrong to be doing this. But from my very minimal knowledge of cropping, it's at this point that you realise how unfit you are. Just putting out the fence to start the yow lambs and the neeps. Just giving them a wee bit first to get them onto it, but they've got a heap of stubbles out there to eat, as you can see. So I'm hoping this will do them a good while. But I'll have to shift this fence again. It's one of my least favourite jobs, as I'm sure you're all very aware of. Anyway, it has to be done. But really pleased with how the neeps are looking. They've come on really well actually, considering that they were so dry when they went in, and then didn't really get much moisture after that either. And then they never got sprayed. So yeah, they're looking really good actually. I'll show you some sizes of them too. So you've got some there, some in here, big one in there. Yeah, there's lots of different sizes. Some are better than others, but no, they've come quite well actually, considering what the weather's been this year. So this is the first time doing it on the flat. Normally we'd do them in reels, but we decided to do it on the flat this year. And yeah, quite pleased with how they've come. So we will continue going, setting up the fence. Yes, we still have the bales together, please don't come at me. That was meant to have been done, but it's something that's been pushed back to the back of the list several times. Anyway, but yeah, you can see that there's a fair bit of eating on the stubbles too. So gonna just digging a hole. Obviously gonna leave them, give them that. We did try and plant some rape up in that really rough bit up there. It's like an acre or something. Threw some seed on it, but it never really came. So yeah, we're relying on this to feed them for a while. And that obviously too. Right, rocks. So this top wire's gone tight, so I'm gonna have to go back down and see why. It's so mild, it feels so wrong to be doing this, to be honest, putting up the fence, because it feels so early still. But we're nearly at the end of October, so yeah, this is when they would normally get put onto the forage rape that we've not got this year, apart from the tiny bit. But yeah, it just feels too early to be doing this. Strange, but hey ho, here we are. Yeah, it's been a strange old year. Very strange year. Luna loves to stand on this box for some reason. Got 3 amigos with me. So you might look at this and think that we undersowed this, but we actually haven't. And our stubbles are never normally this green. But from my very minimal knowledge of cropping, I believe it's all the light heads from the grain that have blown out the back of the combine, been falling off in all the winds that we had, and then it's obviously started to sprout and regrow in the field. That's one thing Davey and I noticed actually when we came back, is just how green all of the stubbles are. Like, it's not just ours, but like up and down the country the stubbles are so green, which is ideal because it then means that we can graze it with sheep, whereas normally they would get to run off onto the stubbles, but there wouldn't really be a lot of grazing on it. So yeah, because the year's been the way it has, grass is kind of been really good and then started to tail off because it got dry, it means that we now have this, which will last the yow lambs hopefully a few weeks, especially because we don't have the forage rate this year to put them on. So yeah, anyway, right, let's see what the problem is. So this is the issue. The handle has gotten stuck in the square. Move that along maybe. These ones are all okay. I'm putting 4 wires on this time, just because, well, to start with, normally do 4, and then if they're quite good can drop it to 3 if needs be, but because we don't have the rape, we'll have spare wires anyway, so yeah, I'll probably just keep the 4 on them and see how they go. They've found that wee bit of rape by the looks of it up the top there. Well, the weather's fairly changed now. It's starting to close in and it's a pretty constant drizzle. That is music to my ears, so this is what we need. Months of, maybe not months of rain. Maybe like, you know, just a little bit of snow on the ground. Not enough to be an inconvenience, but enough to soak into the ground to replenish the very low water table. You know, nice bit of frost, bit of colder weather. So everything's nice and clean, ground's crisp, kills off all the bugs, you know, all the diseases. Yeah, not asking for much. If that could be arranged, that'd be spot on. So fence is set up. Got our 4 wires here, and battery fencer is on. It's flashing green, so that's a good start. So I've just brought the main yows in behind me here, to go through and to sort into 2 batches. So I'll give them a quick count, there's about 400-ish. So split them in 2, put them out to the field, and then get them on their tupping grass, get them used to it before the tups go in the next week or so, is the plan. I was then a wee bit tight for time because I had to nip to catch a plane across to Northern Ireland, where I was very kindly asked to speak at their Women in Ag conference. So had a lovely short trip across, seen round a few farms and got chatting to lots of wonderful people, and then spoke at the conference about my life, technology, social media, and how it is being a woman in agriculture before coming home to work again. So today's job is putting sheep super blocks for the yows. So these yows have struck lucky. They have definitely got the best grass. Luna, that'll do. So you can see here, full of clover. Hello. Full of clover, lovely. It's not as thick and as stocky as we would normally have it, but this is the best that we've got. So these yows better thank me because they're the lucky ones. The rest of them are not going into this much. These goons. So this afternoon's operation is to take all this down. So finish the sheep work for just now. Tups are all back in, and we need to get this shed turned around ready for the newly weaned spring calves to come in here. So an afternoon or so should take this all down if I get some help, and then we'll just work it in rows again. It worked quite well, so we'll do 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, and then this S-bend and everything, obviously it's quite obvious, and then we'll just put it in its batches again, and that seemed to work quite well for taking it all back out again in late spring, early summer. So yeah, she is finished for just now. Pari will get a wash and put away. Rox is waiting patiently. So yeah, operation, get this turned around ready for beasts to come in the next couple of days. So let's go. So we're getting there. Can't get the loader or the loader tractor at the moment. They're both getting used. So we're just stacking everything up. Everything this side belongs here, and everything lying the other side belongs the other side. And then we've got all the and sockets, covers back in. We're just working our way down. I've managed to get the easy job here. I was too slow in getting a picture of it before the calves came in, but there we go, converted back into a cattle court. So it just started to wean the calves now. So this is the heifers are going on this end, and then the stalks will go the far end. I'll get settled in. Mixer wagon is hooked back on. Silage is in her. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, also not happy about this. My screen's cracked. That is not good. Don't know what's happened there. But yeah, that's annoying. And yeah, we're back here. Winter is approaching. It's remembering what buttons do what again. My windows really need cleaned too. I know you can't see that maybe, but which side is which? I can't tell if I had oil on. Speed 100, that's probably too much. It's spinning the right way. Well, I think that's it for this one. Please follow along for part 2, where I will be weaning the rest of the calves. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.